If you ask, like, what makes a good neighbor? Oh, a good neighbor is somebody who keeps their yard up, is quiet, and pays their taxes. Right? And it's like, wait a sec. One of those things does not belong.
Yeah, no, that he would most certainly be. I think he a mixture of surprise, anger, and sadness.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much more I want to get into. I want to talk a little bit about the Bill of Rights, um, and because I think, um, that it,
They were a bad idea.
I think they were a bad idea.
Or
They
they were.
were. Why? By the way, okay, why were they about? I think they were based on the information and the teaching that you have brought to me. But tell the people, why
Okay,
were the Bill
well,
of Rights a bad idea?
right, but let me back that up. The information I gave to you was the information James Madison gave to me.
Right.
And Alexander Hamilton, to give the devil his due, in the Federalist Papers, he explains that the Constitution was not meant as a list of things the federal government cannot do. It was meant to be a list of the only things that the federal government can do. He says, therefore, if you start adding lists of things that it can't do, you're going to leave something off that list, first of all. Second of all, you're going to have some future day an American society that isn't virtuous and educated, and the the plutocrats, the tyrants, the politicians are going to define those limitations out of existence.
Mm-hmm.
And we see that, for example, with the Second Amendment. What does keep arms mean? What does bear? What does arms mean? Right? What do those things, what does infringed mean? We have seen that the rights protected by the Bill of Rights have been defined out of existence. We now have to argue whether or not we're allowed to have a magazine that holds more than 15 rounds. The government has no say because they're the servant. Can you imagine the kids telling the parents what time bedtime is, or telling the
Right.
parents where they can work, or telling the parents what's for dinner? But that's what we do, right? We allow the federal government to tell us all of that. So then so if you start listing things, defining what the federal government cannot do, you'll leave something off the list. And when you leave it off the list, then since tyrant's going to tyrant, they will presume, whether ignorantly or insidiously, they will presume that they possess that authority, since it wasn't denied to them expressly in the Bill of
And
Rights.
and by the way, if you look at like the Ninth and Tenth Amendment, they did their damnedest to like
Mm,
fill all those gaps,
yeah,
and
they did.
yet those are the least known and the least utilized amendments.
And I give another example of this in the book. I'm like, a real world example. If your parents are going away on vacation and leaving you at home, you're a teenager, and your mom and dad are like, hey, we're going to go on vacation. You're old enough to hang out by yourself. And if you were like me, you're like, you were dang excited about that. Would you rather your parents leave you? Which of these two scenarios would you prefer? One, where they leave you a very detailed list of the only things you're allowed to do while they are gone? Or would you rather them leave you a list of the things you're not allowed to do while they are gone?
Oh, please give me the second.
Exactly. Any kid who
Has a brain.
yeah, knows, give me the second list.
Right.